According to my calendar, spring has officially arrived, and what better time to refresh your outlook, your home, and your life overall. I am well caffeinated, I'm in a cute outfit, so clearly I'm getting my personality back, and today I want to bring you through the spring edition of my quarterly reset routine. Now, as you probably know by now, if you've been a subscriber for a while, I am Notion obsessed, so I created my quarterly reset checklist, which I have handy right here, and I'm actually going to make this available for you all to download as well. So if you want to grab your free copy of this checklist and follow along with me, just click on the link down below in the description box so we can do this together. That always makes me feel better to have an accountability partner, and hopefully it'll motivate you as well. I like to split my quarterly resets into 3 different phases. So phase number 1 is a goal check-in and review. It has only been 3 months, but a lot has happened so far, and this is a great time to check in on your goals. For me, I'm a self-employed content creator, so I set a lot of business goals and some personal goals at the beginning of the year. Kind of want to see where we're at with those and make sure that these are all goals that I still feel good about working towards. Phase 2 is going to be a physical reset of my space, so some cleaning, organizing, getting rid of things that are expired, doing a good vacuum of the whole apartment. And then the third phase is all about staying digitally organized, which I feel like is more and more important as these little, things slowly start to take over our lives. With that being said, let's jump into phase 1 and review our goals for the year and where we're at so far. Welcome to my Notion and my goals and planning hub. So this is kind of like my brain, essentially. This is the main hub where I keep track of everything, especially for my business as a full-time content creator, and also where I keep track of some personal goals and things that I want to keep top of mind. So this is broken down by quarter up here, and as you can see on the side, I have Q1 pinned right here. This is so I can keep all of what I have currently been working on in this quarter top of mind. I am going to pin Q2 to my favorites though, starting at the end of this week, which is exciting. My vision board is right here. I actually have an entire video where I talk through exactly how I create a vision board and my process, so I will leave that link in the description box in case you want to check that video out. But this section down here is what we are really interested in, and these are all of my 2025 goals. Now, I think one thing that's kind of hard about setting goals for yourself, especially when you're self-employed, is that sometimes things don't always happen exactly when you think they're going to happen. And a lot of these goals are not necessarily linear with a true start and end date within a certain constraint of time. A lot of them really are year-long goals. However, there are definitely things that I have made substantial progress on. I have in progress marked for a lot of these, but if I were to just go through them quickly, relaunching my digital course as Evergreen is actually done. So now anyone can purchase my digital course, which is the Influencer Income Accelerator, at any time. I have moved away from the live launch model to the evergreen model, just meaning that if today, right now, you wanted to go buy the course, you can go do that. Now, growing my email list is kind of a work in progress. I think I want to continue to work on this in Q2. Scheduling out posts on LinkedIn and Threads to position me as a thought leader. I have been experimenting with this goal in this first quarter, and so far I haven't really seen the best results. I feel like I've been pretty consistent about this. I have been trying to post at least once a week or twice a month, and I haven't really seen too much interaction or engagement or growth from any of the discussions I'm trying to start. I think I will try this for a few more weeks in Q2, and if I don't see any movement from it, I might just end up dropping this goal. I originally had this new branding shoot goal down in Q3, but I've moved it up to Q2 because I have that booked. I have the photographer booked, and I have the studio space that we're going to shoot at booked. The only other thing I need to figure out for that is whether or not I am going to get my makeup professionally done, but that goal will be accomplished in May. Then volunteering with PanCan for Purple Stride, this one will be accomplished in April because Purple Stride is in April. For any of you who don't know, we lost my father-in-law, Mark, to pancreatic cancer last year. I have been volunteering with them for a few months now, and I have started a team to raise money for research and patient programs in Mark's honor, so I will also leave that link down below just in case anyone is able to check it out. And just skimming through this list down here, a few of these goals are kind of interconnected. So for example, wanting to qualify for Mediavine on my blog requires me basically publishing weekly blog posts and continuing to improve my site through the SEO contractor who I use. I feel like we're in a good place with there. There's nothing really to report other than in progress at the moment, but I feel good about the trajectory of my blog and where that's headed. Buying our first home and taking a solo trip are very much not started. And then as we come down here, you'll obviously see a lot of Q4 goals, but what that really means is that these are all like year-long goals. So for example, coffee date with a fellow creator and marketing industry peer at least once a month. That is a networking goal that I set for myself. And as I'm tracking progress over here, you can see when I actually get together with people, and sometimes it has to be virtual just for circumstances. But I have done one coffee meeting a month so far, and in April I already have one scheduled. Working out 3 times a week, travel permitting. I've still been really good about this. I am a Peloton user and I work out 3 times a week with that. Reading 25 books. According to Goodreads, I am on track so far with my goal for this year. Also taking 1 week off from Instagram and TikTok 3 times a year. I have already taken my first break of the year, so this goal is in progress. I'm feeling good about this overall. And by the way, this goals and planning template that I actually use to plan out my entire year, which also breaks down my most important focuses for the quarter and also gives me monthly and weekly planning and checklists. This is available on my website, which is just austentosone.com. So I will link it down below. If you're a small business owner or a content creator, I mean, this has totally changed the organization of my business personally. Now I'm going to take the time to answer these 5 prompts that I have here in the checking in on goals section of the reset checklist. Actually, these should be really quick for me to fill out because in my goals and planning hub, which I have pinned here at the end of each month, I do a little month in review, and I am also going to fill in my quarter in review. So I can basically go and quickly skim through my wins from the month and pull out my top 3 things that I accomplished, what I want to prioritize. So let me go fill this in. If you want to pause and fill yours in too, feel free to do so, and then we'll go through it together. I am celebrating some cool accomplishments from the last 3 months, like booking brand deals at the start of the year. Usually my brand deals tend to be the most prolific during the spring months and then the holiday season. So that was a big deal for me. I also relaunched my digital course and I did launch one new Etsy shop product. So I'm celebrating those as wins in the digital product area of my business. And I got to attend a 12th season, I believe, of Fashion Week and publish a lot of content that I'm proud of and that I hope I can use to pitch myself again for September and go to even more shows. Some things that I want to prioritize: 1 of 2 digital product projects. So either creating an email challenge that will kind of become a new lead magnet in a sense for my digital course to get people interested and engaged in the course topic, and also potentially releasing my next Etsy product. I would try to normally hurry myself along and finish it this month, but I don't want to rush it. So I think we can just make that a Q2 goal. Having a great brand shoot. So just really planning ahead, making sure that I am finding outfits that'll make me confident, potentially hiring a makeup artist who will make me feel like my best self, creating a shot list so we can make the most of our time in the space, etc., etc. And yeah, hopefully finding a virtual assistant for the podcast. What I really need to do first, obviously, is write out what responsibilities that would include, figure out what the budget would look like, how many hours a week, and things like that. I just find this helpful because there is still so much time left. I still have 9 months to make all of my goals happen, and I'm confident that I'll be able to hit a lot of them. This just helps me ensure that I'm on track and I'm focusing on the right things. There may be goals that I set 3 months ago that don't matter as much to me now, or things that pop up throughout my time in the first 3 months of the year that I realize should become goals and should be priorities. All right, I feel like we're off to a great start. So next we're going to move on to phase 2, which is a physical space reset. This portion of the checklist is super important for me, especially because I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. So if there's something left out, if something's not clean, I will notice it. I will encounter it. Now, in addition to things that I try to do just to maintain the apartment every week, like wipe down the counters, vacuum, mop the floors, I also added in some extra tasks here. And to me, this is what makes this feel like a true reset versus just like my weekly cleaning. Each quarter, I do like to go through the fridge, clean the fridge, and also go through the kitchen cabinets to make sure that there are no expired or foods that we're just not reaching for. I also wrote down here, wash towels, sheets, and duvet. We actually just washed the sheets the other day, but I think I'm gonna wash our towels. Also, something I personally need to do, so I added to this list, is to refold some of my clothes and organize my jewelry and accessories. So I'm probably gonna end up decluttering a couple of things. I'll show you guys in the closet later, but my hair accessories have kind of gotten out of control, and I know that I can simplify that. Also, just refolding my clothes to make it easier to reach for the items that I'm using the most. To me, this is separate from doing like a full closet clear out and declutter, because this is a reasonable task that I can get done today that will make the biggest difference for my immediate happiness and sanity and the feeling of calm. We will be going through the fridge, but the first thing that I'm going to remove from the fridge is my lunch. I have some leftover pasta from Sunday night. This was my first time using the red, thick, bold pasta sauce from Trader Joe's. It was really good, and it was much spicier, in my opinion, than the Calabrian chili pasta sauce. So if that one didn't do it for you, try this one. I'm gonna eat, and then we will let the cleaning commence. Taking a quick break to film some content and might need to pop out for a walk or something because it looks like spring outside today. And I just realized my mug was left here from this morning, which means I only had 1 cup of coffee this morning, and I might need another pick-me-up to get me through the rest of this video. Okay, so I'm just gathering the towels to wash. The bathroom always looks so empty when I do this because when you shut the door, you can see the towels like reflected in the mirror. And we're gonna head out for a little spring walk because it seems to be nice out, like mid-50s and sunny, which is all I can ask for spring weather. And I think I'm gonna get myself an iced coffee because I've made a lot of progress already. accidentally just shot that last clip in like a widescreen format, but towels are done in the dryer. I'm gonna go hang them up, and perfect timing because Andrew got back from work and just went out for a run. Currently training for 2 marathons, not 1 marathon, 2 marathons this year. That is far beyond what my body is physically capable of, but whatever makes him happy. So he'll have clean towels for after his run, and then the washing machine little tablet that I put in, I just throw in at the hottest setting, and then I go in and wipe it out with a paper towel, and I'm gonna leave it open to air dry. And that I usually do once a quarter or as needed. If you ever notice that like mildewy smell in your washer, especially like if you close the door when there's still moisture, I just feel like it helps a ton. Much wrapped up now on all of my physical space reset tasks. I can't believe how good it feels in here, and it also smells nice now because I did just light a scented candle. Let's talk about staying digitally organized. Now, as you can see, I obviously like to use Notion to track my goals for the year and kind of keep track of those big picture business things as well as specific projects in terms of deadlines and events and things like that. The rest is pretty much all on Google Calendar. I like to take time at the start of each quarter to go through and just make sure I have any important dates noted in the calendar coming up. So for example, any vacation, personal days that I want to try to take, holidays that are upcoming, potential milestones. Today actually is a milestone. It has been 4 years since we moved from New York City to Hoboken, and I can't believe it's been 4 years. Not just 4 years here, 4 years in this apartment, which is crazy. So maybe things like that, especially if you're a content creator. I also have my self-employment anniversary is coming up, which is crazy. I know that the Sephora savings event is coming up, so I do actually want to schedule out a blog post with some of my top picks for that. Just making sure that any important dates coming up within the next 3 months are front and center, so you have time to actually plan what you want to do, or, you know, make sure that you can request time off or do anything that needs to happen so that you can fully enjoy all of the plans that you've made. Another thing I like to do quarterly is make sure I am backing up files. I have a Carbonite backup that runs just virtually on my laptop basically all the time. And then as far as videos for my YouTube channel and my podcast episodes, I have this external hard drive. I can link it down in the description box. This is a Toshiba hard drive. I have had really good luck with my hard drives. I've never had one break on me yet, hopefully not. And this one holds up to 2 terabytes, so it's really helpful for all of these large video files that I work with. I don't keep every single video file from every single video. However, I do kind of try to build like a B-roll library from my vlogs. So for example, I might save some of the cleaning clips that are in here just in case I ever want to use them in a future video. But if I saved everything, I would simply run out of storage all the time. I also try to quarterly go through and delete unnecessary photos or videos from my camera roll, older outfits where I had a friend take 100 photos and I know the one that I used, making sure that I can get rid of duplicates and things like that. For that, I just like to put on a comfort show like a Gilmore Girls and scroll on my phone for a little bit, just see how much I can get done. I also like to run clean my Mac, so we can do that right now in the background here. I do pay for Clean My Mac, but quite honestly, I find it to be really worth it because it always finds things to delete. I'm gonna have it run this smart scan while we're talking. And I think it's good to once a quarter update any copy about your online presence. Even if you're a doctor, making sure that like your bio is up to date. If you are on LinkedIn and you have new responsibilities at work, making sure that those are included. For me, I also try to make sure I update the about page on my website, make sure my Instagram bio still feels like a good reflection of my work and what I do. And I also like to update my partnerships page on my blog, which I can link down below if you want to go see what it looks like with any recent brand partnerships that I've done. So I think I mentioned in this video, I did do 2 brand partnerships this quarter already. One was with Dove and one was with Drunk Elephant. So I do have those now included on my partnerships page. So that way brands can see recent examples of my work. Ooh, okay, so my smart scan is done. They're gonna clean up 12.4 gigabytes of junk. There are no threats on my laptop, like no malware or anything like that. And they didn't see any duplicate downloads, so I'm gonna go ahead and click run. Ugh, okay, this next one, I'm not gonna lie, I hate it. I hate doing it, but I always feel better after I do it, and that's a finance check-in. If you need to pay quarterly taxes, making sure that your bills are all being paid or they're on auto pay or that you manually pay anything you need to pay, set your budget for the upcoming months if that's applicable for you, and also think about saving for specific goals. If you want to go on a trip or you want to buy a new camera or you're saving for like a big life expense, just all of those things, if you can kind of do a little check-in and make sure that you're staying on track with your financial goals, I personally find that it will help in the long run if you just do these little quarterly check-ins. I just had to file my taxes, and as someone who's self-employed, it's one of my literal least favorite things to do. Even when you have someone helping you, it's still horrible. I don't recommend it. And last but not least, unfollow any accounts on social media that no longer serve you. And I don't think I've talked about this in a vlog yet, but I saw a while ago someone post that they have recently started muting almost everyone on stories. I have been trying to do this, and I feel like some people are popping up just because they don't post stories that often. But if I can get my stories down to truly like fewer than 50 people, I feel like that would even help with the time that I spend on Instagram. And also on top of that, just making sure that what you're consuming feels good for you and that you're following people who make you feel good and happy and inspired and that are aligned with your values. And that marks the end of the digital clear out phase, which means that the spring reset is completed. I am so excited for this next quarter. Again, I feel like just because the weather does get warmer, there are more excuses to get outside and spend time in my neighborhood and just generally feel more energized when the sun is out. So I plan on taking full advantage of that. Be sure to subscribe and stick around for more vlogs coming up. And if you're still kind of on a cleaning kick and you want to keep the reset vibes going, I will link a recent Sunday reset video that I shared on this channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.